All right, we live. Let me hit this little intro.
This is Soap Boxing Podcast.
Who did you turn professional with?
That's one of my biggest goals is to be one of the best female fighters to do it, business-wise and in the ring.
Your main event of the evening.
All right.
Yay! Welcome to the Soap Boxing Podcast. I'm Jiffy Morales.
I'm
There for you.
I'm Big Chief Paleface. We got one of my favorite fighters on here today, man. Coming off a hell of a win. Miranda, your homegirl too, aren't you?
Yeah, one of my good friends, Miranda Reyes. She's been on the show before, but we'll
Yeah.
reintroduce her. And then we have her manager, Ryan Roach. That's your name, right? Ryan Roach.
That's me, yeah.
So most people know you as Freddie Roach's nephew, but obviously you've created your own identity and you've been doing your own thing. So tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so, obviously grew up around the sport of boxing. My father was a fighter. My grandfather, started it all with all the boys. And then my grandmother was actually the first woman judge up here in Boston. So deep tradition of boxing. I decided to get, into the game 3 years ago. And I think I can done all right and help some fighters along and make their career, last a little longer and make it easier for them.
Oh, cool. So right now you're solely managing boxers?
Yeah, I just manage, obviously Freddie can stick to the training. I'll stick to the managing.
Is your daddy Pepper, bro? Who is Pepper? Pepper?
No, so Pepper's my uncle. My dad was Joey. He was
Okay.
he fought at like 112 pounds. He was the smaller one.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I remember, I met Pepper one time. I've been around Freddie, but we don't know each other. Nobody
Yeah.
knows him. But Pepper, man, I met him once. Man, that dude's funny, man. That dude's kicks, man. What happened to him, bro? He was training fighters, right?
He was, yeah. He was probably the best athlete out of all of them too. But he actually had a stroke on one of the series of on Freddie Roach, that HBO documentary. He had a stroke, and he's never really recovered since then.
Oh,
Where is he? Is he in California?
He's still in California. Yeah, he's a little north of LA, Hollywood. He's he's in a 24-hour pretty much care facility, which kind of stinks seeing him there, but
Damn.
it is what it is,
My pops ended up in one of them, man, when towards the end. But man, I used to like listening to him talk about boxing, man. He loved boxing, man, and it was a historian, man. I used to love listening to that guy talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, there she is in the bottom corner right there for me. Miranda. I kind of had a feeling we was gonna go show our ass up there, but I just wasn't gonna say nothing until you did it. But how was it? Let me know. But Ryan, how did y'all hook up first?
yeah. What did you see? How did you find out about Miranda? What did you see in her? We know she doesn't have any amateur background.
Yeah, so Jeremy Lance actually reached out to me and said, check out Miranda Reyes.
The president of ABO, right? ABF?
ABF, yep. So we linked up, we talked for a little bit, and I talked to her coaches, and, they they liked what they seen on the contract, and we struck a deal, and here we are after her biggest win.
It's boxing, it's relationships. That's how you hear. And
Yeah. I actually met Jeremy in Colombia, and he was like, "Oh, do you know Miranda?" I remember I reached out to you, Miranda. I was like, "Do you know this man?" He was like, there was just something in her eyes that I saw that, like, I just knew that she had it, and I was like, "I know her."
She was built by old time, been around Houston forever, and I remember when I seen her box initially, and Lencho, who done worked the cuts or whatever several times, he said, "Man, coach, this girl could fight, man." I said, and I'm a big woman's boxing guy, right? So I watched her, and I said, "Oh shit." I said, "Oh, she can really fight." I said, and so I had her on the podcast, asked her to come on the podcast. She came on the podcast, and then I learned about how that she sparred basically rather than had an amateur career. I said, "What?" And it was it. So I've been on board ever since, man. And I like what y'all doing, and I figured she could do something like she did up there in where was the fight? The fight was in it was in Massachusetts, huh? Where was it?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Yeah, man, because that you wasn't in there with no slouch, man. That's a real fighting woman you went up there and whooped on. And from what I hear, because forgive me, I missed the because I buy them boxing TV fights. I buy whatever if I got somebody on there I'm rooting for. So I need to go back and try to find it. But from what I hear, man, it wasn't really like it was unanimous like they said. Was you impressed, bro, or what? Right? You was impressed.
I knew it was the right fight, the right time for Miranda. And she had a good training camp. Hats off to her. She worked her tail off. And then, I knew it would be, the girl, she was a former world champion and a Hall of Fame in her own. But, at the end of the day, I knew, I talked to some people and they said Miranda hits like a truck. And I just knew that it was the right fight, at the right time. And I knew that would open the doors to a lot of things. And she, as long as she had a good training camp, we talked to her coach, and that was one of the things, she has a good training camp, she focuses, and she did her job and came up there. I was worried, not going to lie, at the end that we're going to maybe get robbed, but she definitely did enough to impress the judges, and I think she won a lot of new fans up here. It was great seeing it. Everyone wanted to take pictures with her after. That's one thing we got to get her on more social media.
We were just talking about like the mix between social media and being an athlete. I actually watched the fight live, and it's probably better to watch it muted because the commentators were obviously for the home side. So the commentators had Jamie up. They had Miranda winning like 2 rounds. Yeah. And the guy was like, "Oh, it's hometown advantage." And then he kind of like caught himself. But if you watch it objectively, Miranda was clearly dominating on rounds. And then there was like, there's always like a commentator for the A side and a commentator for the B side. So the other commentator was like, "No, I think Jamie needs to retire. She really needs to go back to the drawing board and see, because Miranda, she's young, she's hungry, she doesn't have anything to lose at this point." So, and we kind of didn't know, like based off of the commentary, I was worried too, because I didn't know what the judges were going to see or what way they were going to call it. But I'm really happy that they gave it a fair shot, because she clearly earned that.
Was she Ryan, was Jamie, was she the promoter's fighter? I mean, she was for the promoter?
She's a big ticket seller for them. I don't believe they have a deal, but obviously she has fought under his banner many times. There's ways around that, and sometimes even, I was hoping we didn't get robbed. I think Miranda, obviously, I thought she won every single round. She finished strong. She obviously, to me, was the clear winner. But, sometimes even taking that fight, and if you know, if she did lose on the scorecards by chance, everyone would still know that she won, and it would still be, you know, a
You care,
good fight for her.
you care to
Mhm.
tell me how pissed off the promoter was with you, or you don't want to talk about it? If she's a ticket seller, bro, that's 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 how they do their thing, man. I'm fucking with you, of course, but I'm sure they was mad.
I'm sure he was a little. He didn't seem too happy after. He shook my hand though. But.
Fuck it.
So, for those who didn't follow up or doesn't really know who Miranda is, Miranda, you care to introduce yourself? Let us know your weight class, your stats, who you are, what you've been doing.
Hi, well, I'm Miranda Reyes, professional boxer. I got a record of 611, and yeah, that's pretty much it, right?
What's your weight class?
I usually fight around 140 to 135.
Okay, and who do you train with?
Uh, I train with for right now. I'm training with James Cooper and Marlene Sparsa here at Houston at O Athletic.
Okay, and what got you into boxing?
Um, my brothers, my brother. I used to fight him when I was little. I'm the only girl from my family, so I will have to fight all the time. And well, just my family, they were into boxing, and from watching all these fights, that's pretty much it.
Did you plan to be a professional boxer? Did you see yourself like fighting for money or like just doing this?
No,
No.
yeah, I never really thought I would actually do it like professionally. I just knew I was a fighter, like so I started doing boxing like as a routine, like exercise and all that. And from there, like I started noticing, and the coaches too started noticing that I was good. So from there, I started liking it, progressing, and all that.
Yeah, she's very like humble and modest. I've actually trained with her. We've been in a few training camps together and we've sparred. I fight at 105 and she's obviously a lot heavier than me. She actually busted my nose. And she was like, I didn't try to. So she does hit like a truck. And she's a very hard worker and she progresses every time we spar and every time that I see her. So she doesn't like to talk about it much, but she's really, really good. And just like watches a lot of videos. She does like veteran tricks too. I'm like, how do you do that? Show me.
I got it, Ryan. I got this bad little dude, man. 132 pounds. He's an amateur. Got a handful of amateur fights. I call him Danger. But he's bad. He's real bad. And I sent him over there with my welterweight. And he got in the ring with Miranda. And so the next night at the gym, he's like, yeah, bro, I spoiled your girl, man. I said, yeah. She punched the shit out of me, man. I was backing away, and I said, "Say, bro, I'm not a fan of. If I tell you they good, bro, they good. You can't stand in front of." But he was complaining for a week that she busted him in the nose.
Oh my God. Which one is that? Do you remember that, Miranda?
No, I started.
Dominic, he got the dreads, skinny.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. K calling Worm. Yeah, but you busted him up and he talked about it for a week, man. Yeah, man. So y'all made the connection. She's been with you the whole time, brother, or what? Oh.
Probably about what, the last 18 months?
Yeah.
Right, roughly.
So for all of her fights?
No, not all of them. I think you were already what, 2-0 or 3-0?
Yeah, I was already 2-0.
Yeah. So we went to Mexico a couple times, and then she came up here to Boston, and then this is the last one. Last two, she's actually been in the Northeast. So.
Okay. So how have things changed after like the big win? Like, are the offers increasing, or like is things just going crazy?
What's the
Yeah,
plan?
I told her that was going to happen right after the fight, and the phone hasn't stopped ringing. Obviously, she's coming off a big win, and people, she's still a free agent. I think she's still only 20 years old too, so
Yeah.
kind of, I talked to her the other day. We, pump the brakes. We don't have to take anything too crazy right now. We can kind of call our own shots and maybe pick up a couple more wins and then go for the title.
Do you have?
Oh, so
Do you
cool. How does
have?
it feel to hear that, Miranda?
Well, I'm excited.
Do you have other? Do you have other women fighters, or have
No,
you had women
no,
fighters?
she's my first and only. So Jeremy was trying to get me with a couple, other Colombian, but it's really, obviously it's harder once you get into those visa issues. People don't really understand that, but it's a lot of work, and I'm trying to keep it small so I can give each fighter. It's already crazy as it is. Each fighter the attention they need too.
Or you?
I think that's really cool that you keep it small and you're focusing on the fighters, because once you make it too big, like we feel neglected at some point, and we
Yeah,
need love too.
fighters they get detrimental, and they get all they start to get crazy if you don't call them and check in every day. Some of them.
Yeah, they got bad nerve. Uh, you
I got bad nerve. I'm bothering the hell out of my manager.
you how do you feel about the? I don't have any women's fighters. I've trained young girl, young amateurs and stuff, but I'm such a again, I'm such a purveyor of women's boxing, and how I see how you can move women in the sport is completely different than the
Oh
guys.
yeah.
And
I mean,
you're on the same thing. You're on the same. It's
yeah. I mean, she could fight for a world title probably under 10 fights. Like there's just obviously there's way less people in their classes and in the field, so it makes it that much easier to fight for one. But like her, she's only 20. She doesn't have to rush to that right now. But I think she's not even peaking yet. So I'd rather. So I always try to tell my fighters it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Mhm.
that now I really think while that helps them, of course, and losses don't affect them like it does the guys.
No,
You
Uh,
read my mind. That was like my next thing. Go
they
ahead,
they're,
co-host.
they're you can fast track them, so you want to slow them down so they don't go too fast.
yeah,
But I'm impressed, bro, personally as a trainer, because that's really what I am. I'm impressed by the girl. This isn't the 90s, bro.
no,
These gals are bad, bro. They
yeah,
can
Yeah.
fight, man.
yeah,
And so it's gonna be, I think your second tier fighters is competitive, and then
yeah,
you got these elite girls that are so dominant, that you don't want to just because they can get there don't mean you want to just throw them in there. You want to
Mhm.
see them best as they can. But yeah, man, it's such a completely different ball game to me, man.
yeah,
I'm excited about that because it's different. It's a different way to do it.
yeah,
Uh, and
Yeah, people no longer view us as like, oh, you just throw the pretty faces in there and they scrap it out. Like, no, we're really thinking, we're really boxing, and it's equivalent to the guys, and then more entertaining.
yeah,
the only naysayers I see these days when women's boxing is fans. Like there's some fans that just don't know what they're talking about. Most fans don't, but they just, they either like it or don't. But people inside boxing, Ryan, you could probably attest to this, bro. The people inside, they know Clarissa, Sanisa, Marlon, they know that all these girls is bad, man. They can all really fight, man. These
yeah.
girls is you go watch the women's fight, half the time is more entertaining than the guys. You know what I'm saying? On the call.
I think the fans enjoyed Miranda's fight more than anything that night.
Yeah, it was a really good fight. Miranda, what were you? So for me, I got bad nerves. I don't know, like, what were you thinking going into it? How prepared did you feel? How did the crowd feel the atmosphere? What was it like afterwards when waiting on the decision? Like the whole mindset.
Hold on,
Um,
let me hold on before you answer. So I didn't get to see the fight, right? And the first clip I seen was of the announcement. And so I'm looking at it, and she had like a mean mug on. I said, "Oh shit, did this not go well? What the hell happened?" And then they say unanimous decision. I said, "Oh," because she went from aggravated and mad looked like into elated and just
She
happy.
looked like that the entire fight. I asked her about that afterwards. I texted her and I was like, man, you look mean and like just focused the whole time. Like what was the mindset?
um, well, people asked me if I was nervous about fighting outside, but I'm already used to that. I'm already used to, being, you know, a visitor basically. So I knew I was like had to ignore the crowd, but some people actually cheer for me. So that was good. I wasn't really paying attention to that, but I was really confident with my preparation basically. My camp, it was good. I had been in camp for like the longest, I feel like, cuz I was supposed to fight on April 30th, but we didn't make that happen, so I just stayed in camp, after that. And that's when we decided to take this fight. And I was like, well, I'm already ready, so might as well get it. So yeah, I just went in there and I was focused on, I've been doing this whole entire time. So yeah, that was pretty much it.
So you
And
was just preparing yourself for whatever they say. That's what you was doing.
I was just ready. I was.
Okay, because it looked like you was about to sneak somebody if you didn't say the right thing.
So I know, like, I can always feel if I won this round or what I need to do to adjust, like in between rounds, like what was going through your mind? Were you like, okay, I won this round, now I got to do this, or like, were you just listening to your corner or what?
No, I feel like I dominated the whole fight. Like I could see it in Jamie's face. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like I could see my opponent like feeling hurt, feeling like she was
discouraged a little.
yeah, like she was getting kind of like a little bit annoyed, I guess, from me coming and coming and coming and her.
She was grabbing a lot. She was like trying to stop you.
Yeah, and then she was getting tired, so I could see that in her face. So I was like, I dominated her basically. So I
And how
was
did it feel waiting on the decision? Like, are these people gonna rob me or what?
in my mind, I was like, it's gonna be a draw. They're gonna make it a draw because they raised both our hands, but then
Hmm.
started saying, and by unanimous decision, I knew it was me.
Oh yeah, I was nervous when they say unanimous decision. I'm like, I know damn well they didn't think that this lady won.
Yeah, I think even in the video you can see my like I do a little smirk because I knew deep down that I won. But yeah,
Ryan, you was in the corner, huh, brother? That's
Yeah. I had to work the corner, and she actually kept looking up at the TV screen up above us, like trying to watch. And
yeah.
we kept trying to get her not to because she had a huge egg on her head. They
Oh,
headbutted it, and we were like, we didn't want her to see it, so we were trying to distract her from that. But yeah, Lencho did a great job. Got that. He got it down right
pretty.
away. And,
Yeah.
yeah, because I didn't, I only seen the end of the fight clip, and I didn't see nothing.
no, it was like the second or third round.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big welt, and
And he did his thing. Yeah,
yeah,
I done had Lencho in my corners before. He's a good guy,
yeah,
man. He's a great guy to work with.
yeah. He was
Yeah.
trying to get me to be in there, and I was like, "No, you're in the ring."
Do
Lencho,
you usually work the corners of your fighters?
I usually go up in there, but I don't. Depends on the fight, but yeah, usually sometimes I will if the trainer needs an extra hand. And no, it's actually funny. Lencho was sending me pictures yesterday with my uncle, and I was like, "Hey, tell him I'm decent in the corners, all right?" But
Yeah, he's down there in San
San
Antonio.
Antonio, yeah.
Like Showtime card. Yeah, I was talking to him yesterday. So you gonna sit back, you gonna evaluate. I mean, I know you want to keep her active. She gotta fight, but or is the Northeast what you mostly gonna base her on? I mean, what's your idea
I
for her?
mean, I'd like to get her, down there, in front of her home crowd too. I
Yeah,
think obviously there's probably a huge fan base down there for her. But she's training with James Cooper now. So gotta talk to him and see what I'm getting offers every day, and we'll see what makes the most sense. See what fight we got to take.
How is Ryan? How is that relationship with James? Does that work well, like in planning fights for her in her future, in her preparation?
I mean, we actually she just worked that first camp with him, in Milan. So I don't, I've never really actually had any dealings with him yet. So, but
We
we'll
yeah. I
strike
didn't even know. I didn't even
conversation.
know she switched trainers, bro. So and I didn't even know she made the move yet. So yeah, I'm sure that's fresh. That's a fresh new deal y'all doing, man.
yeah,
Uh,
um you know I really with I was with Kay and all them, right? But they're always on the road, so
Mhm.
I feel when I moved to O Athletic, well, I just pulled up there to spar Marlene for her
When
last
we both
fight.
were in her training camp, and
Yeah.
we were like, "We gonna stay."
And so I ended up there, and I mean, I like the environment, I like the gym, everything was cool. And ever since I stayed there, and well, they helped me with this camp, so I'm guessing, I'm gonna stay here since Kay and all them, they're always out.
yeah,
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, you have to do what is best for you and for your career, what you feel comfortable with. And I imagine it doesn't feel good, with your trainers everywhere. And at least you have like a steady, consistent environment. You're learning things, and then obviously you perform well. So
Yeah.
don't fix what ain't broken.
Nah, it's just that I'm just happy. I'm happy how like things are working out for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing. I don't get involved in any training decisions. I try to tell the fighter like, hey, listen, you're with your trainer the most. Yeah, to anyone, as close as anyone, you should have the best relationship with your trainer. So, whoever's gonna make your career better and you feel most comfortable with, I'm good with whatever the fighter thinks.
That's pretty cool. So only reason why I asked because my manager is like he's really, really involved with my trainers, and like they don't like basically they don't do anything without talking to each other. And I'm like, well, who is in charge here? Is it me?
I mean, I'll get involved and talk to the trainers and ask them the game plan and stuff like that. But as far as everything else, I stay out of it. They're the closest. You're closest with your trainer. I
Yeah.
think.
Well, that's pretty cool. I think that Miranda's in a really good spot in her career as far as like the people that she has in her corner, literally and figuratively. And I the only way is up.
Yeah, I mean, she looked unreal that night. I was talking to her about that the other day. Like, it's the best she's looked.
Yeah.
I was happy with her performance. Obviously, being around another world champion, woman boxer that's been already at that level. I watched them. They were talking before the fight. She was helping her out, telling her some keys, what to do and stuff like that. So, just being around that atmosphere is huge for Miranda.
Yeah, I think like working with Marlene really helped me because she like mentally, because Jamie was a four times champion. So being with Marlene in the ring, it was more like, okay, don't respect her, go at her. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a world champion, like, you gotta go for her. So I already had that mentality when I went and and fought Jamie. Like, no respect. I don't care if you're a world champion. I don't care if you're a Hall of Famer. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so I guess that really helped me, like, training with her and sparring with her. Yeah, it really, like, boost my confidence and everything whenever I went.
No, it's really good. I remember we talked about it before, because you were in training camp with Marlene for her last fight, and you felt like I gotta whoop her. Like I gotta, I have to put the pressure on her because it's on me if she doesn't win this fight. And so it helped you and it helped her in the long run. So no, I
Yeah,
think it's really good to surround yourself around people that are gonna make you better.
yeah,
100%. Marlene has dominated at every level of this game, so
Hmm.
you're not gonna do much better than having a training partner like that. So I mean, that's a beautiful situation. Hey, right, how long you been managing fighters, brother?
Since 2018, so 4 years now. Of
4 years.
course, got into it, and then a year into it, COVID happens. So a year and a half. So
Man, that hurt everybody, man. That hurt managers, fighters, everybody in boxing, man.
yeah,
And then once the promoters that got so backed up to where they, just trying to get their signed kids fights,
yeah,
it really put a hamper on things, man.
yeah,
Miranda's been able to fight several times in this thing, so that
Hmm.
a lot of people didn't even have that luxury, man. Uh, but yeah, you being born into boxing, man. I'd imagine you it was a conscious decision to get into the management side of it, right? I'm gonna go
yeah.
ahead
I
and
mean,
manage
my
these.
dad wouldn't really let me fight. So he obviously Freddie had Parkinson's when I was born, and obviously, they thought it was boxing induced, so that was kind of, my no go. My grandfather handed me gloves, but the rest of the family was like, no way, you know.
Yeah, it definitely, even if it didn't come from that, it don't help that you're a boxer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So then
How
I
old are you, bro?
started.
How old are you?
I'm 40 now,
40? Okay. Yeah,
so I did. You know what I did, but my dad passed away 2009, and then I started a charity in 2018. And shortly after that, I connected with a couple local boxers in Boston, and they're like, "Hey, you should manage." And I was like, "Oh, I'll give it a whack," And here we are, and it's been good. I run a charity fight night, and it's an amateur thing, and I got in there and did it myself just to put myself through a training camp to see what the fighters go through. And then my game plan went out the window in the first minute. So.
I tell you, bro.
And I'm yelling at them in the corner, like, "Hey, stick to the game plan," but it happens.
Easier said than done. I tell you, man, the game needs you. Yeah, I mean, you after my heart with that. When I heard you say, let the coaches be the coaches. They would know better than me what she should be doing for
Yeah,
this fight and all that stuff. Because, brother, that's half of it right there, man.
I know. That's why I was like perfect position. Like the lines don't cross. It's
Smart.
like
I find smart managers
we
out.
good job, God, because Miranda, they got you.
It only serves if you're a manager, and I manage a couple fighters as well out of necessity, but it only serves a purpose if you're a manager and you're interested and you got this fighter. Well, I got her because she can fight, and somebody got her fighting. What the fuck? I'm gonna tell her how to do this and how to do that. I'm gonna just navigate. Hey, coach, we got this. What you think? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It just makes sense. And all the great Peter Kine had my fighter, man. And Pete would just be like, Coach, I got this, that, and the third. You tell me which one you want.
yeah,
Well, that's the only kind of managers I'm gonna work with anyway.
Mhm.
You're not gonna come tell me, hey man, I got him a fight with such and such. You didn't even ask me if I think it's, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna work under those conditions. So those great managers, I find they all like that. They all understand. Let me manage. Don't tell me how to manage, and I'm not gonna tell you how to train the fighters, man. And
Yeah.
that's what makes it good. So I'm like Jeff, man. I was happy to hear that, man, because
Yeah.
that's you know, all opportunities ain't good opportunities, right?
No,
Mhm.
no. I mean, sometimes the promoters are the only ones that want to win, so you gotta be cognizant of that too. You know, and I feel
Yeah.
like I have to work with all different types of coaches, so I have to have a relationship with every single coach. I can't, persuade one or the other.
100%, 100%. Well, I tell you, man, I think hey, man, I'm a fan of most people, but I think Miranda would tell you how big a fan I am of her. So I'm happy to talk to you, bro, and know that you got our best interest, man. And to be honest with you, man, that was, you could say it. You could say it in front of her. No, those people didn't think she was gonna win. That's why they was bringing her in there. But y'all
Yeah.
knew. But y'all knew. And
Yeah.
so that's the way in. That's how you get in that door. Okay. Yeah, we'll take this fight, sure. And kick their ass and keep it moving. Now it's like you sucked up all their superpowers. And let's
Mhm. And most people wouldn't have taken that fight
Please
to
stand
be
by.
on the B side, to go on the hometown. Like, most people wouldn't have done that.
Spring Street.
Yeah.
and she went up there and sold out, huh? Because
And
that wasn't but
I mean,
that's how I know she smashed, bro. Because if she won by unanimous decision, she was shining like new money. I already know. Because
Yeah.
they ain't gonna give it to you in any other. And that's also why I know the promoter was pissed off at y'all, man. Get on back to Texas, girl.
had to bring the heat up there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I'm glad to see y'all did it, man. And I'm sure that she's got plenty of little offices about navigating, navigating which ones to take and keep the momentum going, man. Yeah, man. I'm glad to see she's
what we're on to next.
And now we just have to work on branding and social media and making money outside of the ring, Miranda.
I know she's very marketable. We just got to
Yes.
come out
I've
of
been
her shell.
telling her that, man. Miranda, haven't I told you that from the beginning?
I
And-
know.
And she clams
Everyone after wanted to picture of Miranda.
I'm just
Yeah.
We tried a little bit. I took like a few pictures of her, and I was like, "Come on, just put your face on it." She's like, "I don't know how." I'm like, wait.
Yeah, you definitely need all that good stuff, man. Well, hey, bro, the next thing y'all got, of course, I'm gonna push it on. I push Miranda on my personal shit, and I'm just a fan, bro. I don't have nothing to do with her,
No, we appreciate it. We appreciate it, definitely.
And then of course on the podcast and stuff, and we've been running a podcast. We was running a podcast strong for about 3 years, bro. I done had them all. Clarissa, Marlene, I done had all the girls on here. I done had all the champs on here, man. I took a little sabbatical, man, just because I was burnt out, bro. I got a bunch of shit going on. But now we trying to kick it back up, man. And I was talking to Lyncho when he was like, "Man, you putting Miranda back on." I said, "Shit, yeah, we might well come back now. And let's do it again, man." So we're gonna start doing these shows again. And we're gonna push it no matter, where is that? When is that? I'm gonna keep up with you, and I followed you on your stuff so I can keep up with her. Right?
Definitely.
And I'll keep pushing her too. I'm like a social media person. I'll keep posting her and things like that. So I think y'all are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Sure you pushing. I'm sure you because I seen that my dad had Parkinson's and my brother, man.
Yeah.
My dad boxed, my brother didn't, but that's why I was telling you, it could be the boxing or it could be the boxing made it worse,
Definitely.
But yeah, my dad and my brother had it, but so I seen your charity. I think I followed your Parkinson thing, or I followed something with it, and then and I'm gonna check you out, bro, so I could get familiar with any other fighters you got, man.
Yeah, but actually trying to get with Lou Savarese down there and try to do a charity fight night in Houston. So I'll let you know. Hopefully we can do that next year.
Nice,
okay, cool. That's a good dude, and I'm sure it'll be a good show.
Yeah, very good dude. Very good dude. I like him a lot. And as always, bro, you got some fighters or something, man.
Yeah.
If they want to come on, let me know. And then we're
Sounds
gonna always push Miranda, bro, till she gets that title.
Sounds good.
I appreciate
Thank y'all for coming on. I'm pretty sure y'all got lots of offers to do interviews and things like that. So
yeah, but it's only one me, bro. So you know, I'm real exclusive, man. So that's why I ain't got a million views. I don't want a million views. I'm real exclusive. Speaking with y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all coming on. Let us know what's happening. We're gonna share it. I'm gonna chop this up so we can post clips and stuff, and I'll send them to y'all so y'all can share it too.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Nice meeting you guys.
you too.
All right,
See y'all
Miranda.
later. Bye, baby. Y'all be good, man.
Bye.